Hello everyone, in this video we will see how to make notes on iPad. Now the iPad model that I'm using here is the iPad 9th generation model, right? And the pencil I'm using is not the Apple pencil but the copy, or we can say a cloned copy. So these pencils usually cost you around 2000 rupees in India, and the original pencil costs around 9000 rupees, 8 to 9000 rupees. And the model I'm using here is the iPad 9th generation. So we will see in details as to what is the software and hardware requirement for note making on iPad. Now, as I said, the model I'm using here is the 9th generation model, and so minimum, if you have to take notes, you have to invest in the basic model of iPad, because even basic models of iPad support the pencil. So this model iPad 9th generation will cost you around 29 to 30,000. And the pencil, as I said, please, if you are limited on budget, then you can go with third party pencils, and the third party pencils will cost you around 2000 rupees. So the one I'm using here is the third party pencil. So initially, if you are very tight on budget, then your minimum investment can be around 30 to 32,000 rupees, because इससे कम में होना बहुत मुश्किल है. So we have seen the hardware, what hardware is required. So minimum 32,000 worth of investment is required as far as hardware part of note making is concerned. Then second point would be the software. Now software wise, we have two basic softwares. First, we will talk about the Apple's by default software, which is free of cost, right? So this is the Apple's Notes software. So again, it gives you a lot of functionality, but to a certain extent it is limited, and we will see how it is limited. So simple, simple funda is, if you really want to take basic notes, right? Basic notes, then Apple Notes is the best. Apple Notes. But if you want all the features, all the possible features, and a very fine-tuned application, that there are usually two alternatives in the market. So if you go on App Store, there are two popular applications. First being the Goodnotes 5, and second being the Notability. Again, I'm not sure about the Notability. I think Notability charges you on annual basis, whereas the Goodnotes 5 can be purchased for lifetime. So I have purchased Goodnotes 5 for around 850 rupees, and this is a lifetime subscription. So I do not have to pay again and again for this. So if you'd ask me which software should we choose as well as for better note making, I would say functionality wise, both the applications, that is Goodnotes 5 and Notability, are same, but Goodnotes 5 is affordable option, so please go with Goodnotes 5. So the application where I'm writing this stuff, where I'm annotating this data, is actually the Apple's Notes. So this is the Apple Notes application. It has a lot of good features, but for proper note making, I'll take you through the Goodnotes. So okay, we will open the Goodnotes. This is the Goodnotes 5, and so this is the basic interface of Goodnotes. I'll tell you a brief background about myself. I'm preparing for I've been preparing for civil services examination, and now I have switched to CAT, that is common admission test. So what I have done is, because the requirement of both exams is different, so I made separate notes, separate folders, and I'm keeping data category wise. So I have categorized all the notes as per my needs. So here, if I go through UPSC, so these are my UPSC notes. So in UPSC we have different subjects. For instance, we have CSAT paper, then we have current affairs, economy, emergency, again not important. We have environment and ecology, we have geography, history, outdated strategies, again not important, polity, PYQs, and 2024 strategy. So this is how I have categorized all my notes, and I'll take you through each and every file also. Similarly, for the CAT preparation, I have divided the CAT folder into DILR, Quant, and VARC. Why? Because these three sections are asked in the CAT paper. Okay, now I'll take you through the individual notes, and I'll tell you I'll side by side explain the features of Goodnotes 5. So we'll go through a geography NCRT. Okay. So in geography, I have these multiple resources that I've prepared. So okay, let's go through this India, people and economy. So this is the NCRT of geography for UPSC civil services prelims examination specifically. So again, this is the first page. If you want to add one page, then you can just swipe down and it will add one page. Similarly, you can do the same on the bottom of the document also. Now this is the India, people and economy. Let's say I have to highlight this, right? So I can always highlight it like this. Now I can always circle it like this. I can convert this into rectangles also. Similarly, I can change the color, right? This is a normal handwritten circle, hand drawn circle, but if I wish to convert this into a proper circle, then I have to hold it on the screen for some time, and it converts into a proper circle. Now we can change the size of the brush also. Similarly, we can add text, so I can add text also. Okay, just a second, let me add text. Okay, so this way you can add text in the documents also. So just for this, okay, let me delete this. Okay, so we have the eraser option. So I've drawn something, then I can always erase it. Then I have the highlighter function. I can highlight this. I can change the size of the highlighter also. So this is the increased size. Then we have this geometric shapes function, so through which we can draw some diagram. For instance, if I have to draw the circle, I do not have to hold it the way I was holding it a few time back. So this is the circle, rectangle. Similarly, we have this selection tool. So if I wish to move these diagrams or anything on the paper, then I can select it using this tool. So this is the selection tool, and now the diagram has been selected, and I can move it across the document. Similarly, I can erase everything. Then we have the we can add some pictures also. So I can add this picture. Again, this is the editorial from the Indian Express. I can always add it. So pictures can be added. Similarly, certain stickers are also made available. For instance, I'll add this sticker 24/7. So I can always delete it. Now we have now there are very interesting features which are not found in the Apple's by default note application, right? So let's say you have to record a screen. Now I'm recording a screen and I'm demonstrating something. Now let's say I wish to show I wish to explain something. Let's say I have to explain the preamble of the Constitution of India. Now in that case, I can always use this presenter tool. So this is presenter tool, right? Similarly, I have a dot. So this comes very handy when you are explaining something and you wish to record and upload it on let's say YouTube. So this function is not available on the Apple Notes. So please be very mindful of this. If you really want this function, this is available in both Notability and also in Goodnotes. So please go with Goodnotes. Now let's say, now these are the basic features of the Goodnotes. Now there are so many nuances that I'll not get into. For instance, while creating a new document, you get to choose as to what should be the cover. So they also give you cover, which is, in my opinion, it's a useless feature. I don't use it, so I always keep the cover blank. Then you can always change the templates. So these are multiple templates. In my opinion, they don't make any difference, but if you really want a feel of proper ruled paper, then you have certain options like ruled narrow, right? So this way you can create a new document. I'll name it, let's say, script, and I'll create it. So this is the new document that we have created. Now I'll select a pencil and I'll change the color to black. I can always write, right? So I can write Goodnotes 5 versus Notability. If you want to change the size, again this way you can change the size. Again, this is the larger size. Again, okay, this is the maximum size. You can change the colors. We have seen this already. So this is as far as the basics of Goodnotes 5 is concerned. Now I'll quickly take you through the notes that I have prepared, so that you will get an idea as to which type of notes can be prepared using Goodnotes 5. So in CSAT, I have this basic document. So CSAT stands for Civil Services Aptitude Test. So it is like a quant paper. It is it tests your English. It tests your DILR, data interpretation. It also tests your quantitative aptitude. Now these are the notes I have prepared using Goodnotes 5 only. So this is just to give an idea as to what type of notes you can expect, right? So for instance, in this case, I wanted to write the entire problem, but what I did instead was I took a screenshot of on YouTube and I cropped it and pasted into this document, so that I do not have to write this entire problem. What I did rather was just copying and pasting the screenshot. Now this way you can highlight, right? So these boxes are also available. So I'll take you through the geography NCERT also, just a second, because in geography there is a demand of more and more diagrams for better understanding. So in this case what I have done is I have added a lot of diagrams, for instance. Okay, so in this case I have highlighted the borders for better understanding. I have highlighted a lot of stuff. So for instance, in population composition, so in population composition as a topic, this was only the literature part. There was not any fact or data or figure as such, so I have not highlighted anything, but wherever I felt that some important data was given, I have highlighted it. Similarly, I have added a lot of diagrams. I'll show you the diagrams also, just a second. You can get the preview of document through this thumbnail view also. So through thumbnail view we can easily find out the, okay, just a second. Okay, so this is the general view, again highlighting important regions. For instance, in this map, a few cotton producing region of India was important, so that I have highlighted. So cotton, jute and cotton. So this comes very handy because whenever you have to go through this map again, you do not have to comprehend the map because you have already done that efforts. So you have just highlighted the important part so that a lot of time is saved. Similarly, so these are the notes. And when it comes to exporting your document, so first you are done with your document, you can always export it. Now in export you have two options basically. Let's say I'll export it. In export you can okay, while exporting the document, you again, what type of document do you want in the end? Do you want to edit it further? Then you can choose editable, so that whatever document that you would save as PDF, that you can in future import into Goodnotes 5 and start editing. Again, there is a catch. I'll explain that. I think it is a bug in Goodnotes 5 that they have not solved in, I think, last 6 months. I'll tell you that. But the most safest option is going with flattened. Why? Because once the document has been flattened, in that it means that the images and whatever that you have done, whatever that you have put on the document, that cannot be taken out. So it becomes a proper PDF file which cannot be edited further. For instance, on contrast, the editable option allows you to export files which can be edited further. However, the problem with this editable option is that it is totally a useless option, because whenever you export any document in editable form, in that case the document loses its alignment. For instance, if I've written something, if I've highlighted something, but when I export the document using the editable option, then the highlighted portion would actually move slightly above or maybe to left or right of the text, so it becomes useless. And this has been happening since last 6 months. So maybe I hope that in future the Goodnotes 5 team will reverse this thing, and they will make sure that this option is working properly. But for now this option doesn't work, so you can always use the flattened, right? So I think this is it. We have gone through a very basics of Goodnotes 5. There are many videos that provide you in detail explanation, but I think that is not really required, because if you buy this software you will learn it yourself, because the options are so easy. You can always, okay, I wanted to show you the diagram of a photo being imported into the Goodnotes 5 document. So this is this diagram. Okay, so this diagram is not part of the original document. I have added it through Goodnotes, and this is a flattened document, so you can see I cannot change it, right? I cannot move this diagram because it has been flattened out. So I think this is it. Thank you so much.